What's up? So last week in a video, we looked at some of the shortest lasting things in Fortnite. Bugged, glitchy, or just poorly received things from the community that were very quickly taken out. And what I wanted to do in today's video is look at the exact opposite and look at 10 of the longest lasting things in Fortnite. And before we do get into the video, I've got a really big and important criteria to mention. There are so many things that are still in the game from the very original launch, and if we were to include those on our list, it would be very boring. Just wouldn't make for a good video, because we would actually have a 12-way tie with the following: the medkit, bandage, big shield potion, assault rifle, scar, pistol, tac shotgun, RPG, Pleasant Park, Salty Springs, and Retail Row. So if you want to think of all those things as the number one spot, feel free. But to make this video a whole heck of a lot more fun and interesting, we're only going to be looking at items introduced into the game after September 25th of 2017, which was the launch of Fortnite. Anyways, with that being said, subscribe to the channel or I will light you on fire, and let's get into it. So I thought we'd start this video with a little bit of a baseline looking at Lucky Landing. Added March 1st in Season 3, this was one of the longest lasting new POIs ever in the game. This was obviously removed at the end of Chapter 1 and was in the game for a total of 592 days, yet isn't quite enough to actually make our top 10. And another item that was just actually around this time that you may be thinking in your mind was the hunting rifle. But this was actually vaulted at 2 different points during Chapter 1, so also isn't enough to quite make our list. So coming in at number 10, we have a weapon that is around this time but just beats out Lucky Landing, and it is the hand cannon. The hand cannon was added on February 22nd of 2018, and this was just 2 days after the launch of Season 3. Now, what's really sad about the hand cannon is it's the only weapon on our list that doesn't make the 600-day mark, with nearly everything on this list being removed October 13th at the end of Chapter 1. This thing as well, it was only in the game for 599 days. And overall, this is a spot that's actually very surprising to me. For about 90% of the time that this weapon was in the game, I never really considered it to be a top tier gun. When it would destroy all structures, it was great, but other than that, the hand cannon to me was not a staple of Fortnite. I wasn't really that sad to see it go either, so to me, it's surprising that it actually lasted that long. Now moving on to number 9, I know there's a group of people that were sad to see this weapon go, and it is the minigun. So the minigun was actually added at the end of Season 2 on January 31st of 2018. Also removed with Chapter 1's Big Bang, this was in the game for a total of 621 days. And to me, this was a weapon that made sense to keep around in the game. There was really nothing quite like the minigun, and I really liked that it could change up playstyle. I really like the current basic version of Fortnite, but it's safe to say that, you know, sometimes some spice is nice too. So while I don't personally love the minigun, I do think that it was a weapon that was worthy of staying in the game for so long. And moving on to our number 8 spot, we've got one of everyone's favorite healing items, the Chug Jug. The Chug Jug feels like something I almost forgot about being entirely in the game, and it was in for almost 2 years. It was added on January 24th of 2018 and once again was removed with the Big Bang, the black hole, whatever you want to call it. Now, the old trusty Chug Jug actually managed to last 628 days, and overall, I gotta say, it was a great 628 days. Now, while we're on the topic of events that happened in January of 2018 for Fortnite, there's one that probably stands above the rest. Apart from Chapter 2, probably the biggest map update ever, and on January 18th, this was the Tilted Towers update. Now, Tilted Towers was added into the game January 18th, but unfortunately, it is not enough to actually make our list. And that's because actual Tilted Towers was destroyed on May 4th in the Unvaulting event. But there are a few other locations that managed to survive and are on this list. So coming in at number 7, we have Snobby Shores, Junk Junction, and Haunted Hills, along with some of those unnamed locations that came with this update, like the other factory. But the main 3 are Snobby, Junk, and Haunted, which really to me is an amazing feat in itself that these 3 very unpopular locations never left the game. I think the only reason anyone would ever land here is because there was either a challenge or you were just trying to avoid any other player. But in total, these locations actually managed to last in the game for 634 days. A real feat for such unappealing places. Now moving on to our number 6 spot, we've got the placeable trap, Cozy Campfire. Now, as pretty much everything on this list, the Cozy Campfire was removed during the Black Hole event, but it was added into the game on January 9th for a total of 643 days in the game. And this was truly another item that I think became a real staple of the game. I think the reason they took out the Cozy Campfire is one, they wanted to just simplify healing, and also two, encourage fishing. And while I am glad that they kept environmental campfires in the game, I really do miss this guy. Now, topping out our top 5, we've got the Silenced Pistol. And this is another weapon that I look at and think, how is this in the game for so long? The Silenced Pistol was the first thing added to Fortnite in 2018 on January 1st. It was another item that lasted all the way through to the Black Hole event for 651 days. Now, I guess the reason that this weapon stayed in the game was just to serve as a higher tier version for the regular pistol. But with that said, I mean, come on. There's no denying that the new versions of the pistols are just so much better. Now, moving on from here, I want to talk about another weapon that's probably been on your mind that isn't quite enough to make our list. And that's actually the Boogie Bomb. The Boogie Bomb was an item added into the game December 23rd of 2017. But unfortunately, the Boogie Bomb was actually vaulted in Season 3. And so because of this, its total runtime in the game actually isn't as long as the hand cannon. But now we're moving on to our number 4 spot. And it's kind of a two-way tie. Now, number 4 is a really notable spot, as this is the first thing we have on our list that is still in the game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the mini shield, added December 19th of 2017. But the thing that makes the mini shield so iconic is that it wasn't actually removed for Chapter 2. And so because of that, for every single day that this item is in the game, it's actually still increasing in length. So if you're watching this video on the day it's uploaded Tuesday, it's been in the game for 694 days. However, every day that goes by will be another day added. And there's actually another item that was added on this day that technically might make it a tie. But it really depends how you want to classify this, and what I'm talking about is the Spike Trap. So there was a version of the Spike Trap that came out on launch. The thing about that Spike Trap though is that it was so different from this one that I almost consider them to be two separate things. It would be like comparing the launch pad to the vertical jump pad. They both came from predecessor items, but they're so different. So either way, the Spike Trap's been in the game forever. It's just, do you want to say it's been in the game since launch technically, or since just a few months later? Either way, these items are soon going to be the longest lasting items in Fortnite. But as of today, they are not. So let's move on. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we've got the old faithful launch pad. An item that was such an icon, I truly can't believe it was removed. Added November 13th of 2017, this thing managed to stay in the game for 699 days. And I think it absolutely shocked players that it was removed in Chapter 2. Even the mighty launch pad is only in at number 3. Now, moving on to number 2. A true icon of Fortnite, ladies and gentlemen, is the bush. Almost forgot about this guy when making this list. The bush has been in Fortnite for 706 days. It was the second item to ever be added into Fortnite. Now, and really, the bush was never one of the greatest items to be ever added into the game, but it truly was at least iconic. By taking some of your view, it would add 1 extra bullet of protection. So overall, not a bad item, but more iconic really than anything. I guess really, truly the word I'm looking for is more memeable than anything. But even the bush is not mighty enough to make our number 1 spot. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that has got to go up to the first item that was ever added into Fortnite, which was the Slurp Potion. Added October 25th in the Halloween update of 2017, the Slurp Potion is the longest lasting non-launch item in Fortnite. At 719 days, it almost made it a full 2 years. However, there is an item that is again going to surpass it. And as I mentioned, that is the mini shield and possibly Spike Trap if you want to classify it under my system. So if you're watching this on Tuesday, the mini shield has been a part of Fortnite for 694 days. The Slurp Juice is at a cap of 719. Now, assuming that the mini shield isn't removed by December 9th of 2019, it will become the longest lasting item in Fortnite, which is super likely as we're probably not going to see Season 2 until mid-December, so it's very likely that the mini shield will take the number 1 spot. I really can't see any reason for Epic to remove the mini shield, so it's probably gonna take the crown. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is our list. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this and making it all the way through on this one. If you are new to the channel, again, I'm telling you, you gotta subscribe or I will light you on fire. That was not a threat. I wasn't joking. Very serious thing. So subscribe for your health, okay? I'm just looking out for you when I tell you. It's just a simple thing. Anyways, thank you again, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.